So it's symbolized by phi, this Greek symbol. But the golden ratio is it's a math a plus b over b when it equals a over b is what? Well, it's about 1.61809897. If you pull out those geometric differences in those circles, you end up with these Fibonacci sequences. If you pull out those geometric differences in those circles, you end up with these Fibonacci sequences. Organized a different way, you start to see network structure where you've got hubs and you've got less important hubs in a network. And so out of that, we create a logo called the Triskelion, which is our Ripple logo. But it really does come out of that mathematical principle of the golden ratio.
Yep. That's what inspired me to put the post up, by the way.
Yeah. So, here I am. I already know the value that's being given to XRP is $1 million based upon the fact that a certain amount of liquidity is required,
Right. For it to do the job.
And it was basic math. If we did not know that there was 100 billion minted, and it was just, it was going to change all the time, you couldn't solve the equation. Because first you had to figure out how much all the money was that was going on to the quantum financial system. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify this also for the listeners out there, because a lot of people, they're curious, what exactly is the quantum financial system? It sounds like it's a new system that is run by quantum computers, artificial intelligence, and blockchain technology, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the basic understanding.
Okay.
Now, when Edison invented electricity, it wasn't important for people to understand how electricity worked. All that was necessary was to know how to flip the switch, right? Off, on, off, on.
True.
With the quantum financial system, and this may be a little bold or shocking for some people, but it's actually ancient technology that was created outside of time and given to us in time. It's a quantum consciousness. It's a system that operates in the fifth dimension. That's why it's unhackable. That's why Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and these other nefarious banking institutions could not hack it.
And that's why the lawsuit came then, possibly, right? To slow it down.
The lawsuit came for one single reason. The quantum financial system, think of it as your vacation. You're going on vacation. Well, what are the things that you have to do before you can actually walk out the door? You got to make sure somebody's going to take care of the cat. Somebody's going to water the plants. Somebody's going to collect the mail. You got to get all these things done before you can say, vacation. So we had to get rid of evil. We had to get rid of the cabal. We had to go and destroy all the dumb tunnels. We had to rescue the children. We had to bankrupt the deep state. How do you do that? Well, there was a plan that the Lord devised, and he used the Asian elders to execute it, going back centuries, thousands of years. And he made the Asian elders, number one, his storehouse on earth, by giving them an unending, self-replenishing supply of gold. They're tapped into gold that comes out of the deep, deep, deep parts of the earth, and it just replenishes itself. So as much as they mine and take out, it's like it never left.
Okay.
So it's not a scarce economy as we've been told.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
just
scarcity is, it's just made up.
Right, just like oil. Oil does the same thing.
Right. I mean, there's so many resources out there. We have so much abundance. It's just these people are greedy, I guess.
Well, what they did was they needed money, right? They needed money to control the world. The Asian elders were put in place to loan them the money. So if we know about the parable of the talents in the Bible, it says that the master had to leave, right? So he left a certain number of talents with one, certain number of talents with the next one, certain number of talents with the last one. Well, God gave them the talents, the supply, which was gold. Oh, excuse me.
That's totally fine. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time, actually.
That was my alarm to make sure I was there. So the cabal, known as the Committee of 300, and that was a document that surfaced during the valuation committee for XRP, because I needed a way to help people understand large numbers, right? We have a hard time thinking beyond $1 trillion.
Yes.
I've had people actually accuse me of making up numbers that don't exist.
I mean, you ever heard of a sextillion? That's actually a number. People don't even know. If you tell someone, hey, it's a sextillion, they're like, what the hell is that?
Have you ever heard of a quadrillion?
No, see?
No, that's 1 with 45 zeros.
You know, what's interesting also, see, these large numbers, like you said, we can't really fathom, but then it reminds me again about the XRP. And I try so hard to teach this stuff especially on the courses, and I do get through to some people, but the XRP was designed for infinite scalability, meaning that there is no limitations to its price. And as it becomes more universally adopted, accepted, and extensively used, which eventually it will, it's going to eventually absorb all money in circulation, improving its liquidity, driving the price even higher, like you said.
Right. Well, see, and the thing that a lot of people don't understand, and I just have this ability to, I have photographic memory, and I can retain things. And a lot of that comes from my 30 plus years on Wall Street, and then being a financial tax and forensic expert in accounting.
I didn't see that coming.
I did. You can trade on that.
What do you mean by that?
That. that.
U.S. presidential election updates, predictions, and the biggest question of 2024.
You trade on that?
That's just a pen.
Yeah.
So little tidbits get said, right? David Schwartz made the comment one time, and he said, if it ever becomes necessary for us to not charge a transaction fee, we just won't. So you don't burn any XRP.
Hmm.
Okay?
Interesting.
The only reason why they charge a transaction fee right now is because Ripple has to have a way to cover their overhead. It's operating the XRPL, which we'll call the black box.
Okay.
In the third dimension here. It's in Cheyenne Mountain. It's already operating on Tesla free energy. So there is no cost.
Right.
So-
It's
so the
0
moment-
point energy.
Right. So the moment we go onto we activate the quantum financial system, so we're all actively participating on it, there won't be a token burn.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, because XRP, the price on XRP is tied to the number of transactions per second. And I've already proved it mathematically, and Brad Garlinghouse has already confirmed it. I remember the day. Proved it, and all of a sudden he comes out and he says, "Oh, you know what? We're gonna increase the number of transactions per second that the ledger can do." What?
Hmm.
Wait, did somebody look behind the curtain and see the knob, and no one told us about it? Well, what he did was he gave us a reference number. He said, "Well, we're gonna do we're gonna take it up to 3,400 to 3,800." Well, what he was saying is, to me, because I had already put it out there, I'm gonna tell you and confirm for you it's based on transactions. So his high number moved the scale to XRP being $1 million. So
Yeah.
XRP being in that 60 cent range is where it's appropriately priced for the number of transactions it could do right now. Now, see, he said they were going to do it, but they haven't done it.
Yeah.
They're still keeping it at 1,500 because that keeps the price of XRP in that 60 cent range. Now, I want to back up for a quick second.
Okay.
The SEC is not doing what most people think they're doing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The players are showing us what the cabal used to do. So it's like they're being directed to provide a narrative that shows what they used to do.
Basically, to show the world how corrupt they really are.
Exactly.
And that kind of ties into the article I wrote on Twitter. For those who did not see it, please check it out, where I was talking about the SEC and all the unlawful crimes that they've been involved in, and
They were the mafia.
money laundering, and Ukraine, and the World Economic Forum. You know, it's just some weird shit.
Well, and
And-
see, and this is how they controlled corporate America, Wall Street.
Right.
Number one, they did not get regulations passed through Congress.
Of course.
And why would you not want the law? So you can be the law.
That's right.
Hmm.
What's called regulatory overreach.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And since all the politicians had been bought off anyway, or had been extorted, or whatever was going on there, they had carte blanche to put the pressure on and control.
Mhm.
But their whole purpose right now, when Jay Clayton dropped the lawsuit on December 22nd, 2020, that was a strategic day, one day after a contract that lasted 7,885 years expired. And Brad Garlinghouse finally admitted that he was contacted the day before. On December 21st, he was told, tomorrow we're going to drop a lawsuit on you. The 21st was the day the contract ended. Had they dropped the lawsuit before the contract ended, the devil was going to be given full reign for eternity on earth. And we would never have survived. The cabal
Yeah.
would
It becomes very, very interesting when you start to think about the real spiritual factors behind what we're seeing in the world today. And there's no doubt there's this good and evil battle going on. So
Mhm.
it only makes sense, I guess, when you look behind some of, you go deeper down the rabbit hole, you discover that this is really it's a strategic maneuver to bring in something else, something different.